Those internal battles we all face? That anxiety, the self-doubt, the anger that just steals our peace. Well, what if we've been fighting the wrong enemy this whole time? Today, we're diving into an ancient text that talks about these struggles as demons, but with a twist that might just change everything about how you see your own mind. So, let's just start with this question. Really think about it for a second. When you think about what's holding you back, the stress, the conflict, what's the first thing you blame? Is it your job, another person, the state of the world? Well, this ancient wisdom we're looking at suggests the real obstacle, and the only solution is way, way closer than you think. All right, here's the game plan for our explainer. First up, we're going to redefine what demons even are. Then we'll look at 4 super subtle traps that can trip you up even when you're trying your best. After that, we hit the main event, a core revelation about where the real fight is. We'll explore why looking outside yourself is such a trap. And then, finally, we'll wrap it all up with a clear path to finding that inner peace. So, first things first, let's talk about this whole idea of demons. It's so easy to picture some kind of monster, right? But in this context, they're really just the predictable hurdles that pop up anytime we try to grow or get better. And get this, they aren't a sign you're doing something wrong. They are the path. So what exactly is a demon, or mu, as it's called? It's pretty simple, actually. It's just anything that gets in your way. It's not some spooky external evil force. It's any force, whether it's inside you or outside, that stirs up conflict and blocks you from connecting with your own true, peaceful nature. It's an obstacle, plain and simple. Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting. The text points out that the spiritual path itself can create its own unique set of obstacles. And we're not talking about rookie mistakes here. These are really sophisticated traps that can catch even the most dedicated, sincere people. The text highlights 4 of these subtle demons. First, you've got the demon of intellectualism, where you get stuck in your head. Second, oversimplification, where you grab onto one idea and ignore everything else. Third is the trap of easy shortcuts, wanting the prize without the work. And finally, the demon of extreme effort, which is really about ego. Let's see what these actually look like in our world today. These ancient traps are, wow, they're so modern it's kind of scary. Intellectualizing, that's when you mistake reading all the books for actually walking the path. Oversimplifying is when we find one teaching we like and decide it's the only truth. Seeking shortcuts, that's our culture's obsession with a quick fix, anything to avoid real, deep self-reflection. And the ego and effort, that's when your practice becomes a performance, more about looking spiritual than actually being at peace. And all of this leads us right to the absolute heart of this teaching. It's presented as a conversation where a deity, who really represents all of us, asks the Buddha the one question we're all desperate to know the answer to. The question is so direct. How do we win? How do we finally beat all these obstacles, all these demons? It's a plea for a strategy, a weapon, a way to just defeat the enemy once and for all. But the Buddha's answer, it just flips the whole game on its head. He doesn't offer a weapon. He doesn't give a battle plan for some external enemy. Instead, he turns the entire search inward. He says the real enemy, the only place to find victory, is what he calls the mind demon. So what is this mind demon? It's not some little creature living in your head. It's a habit. It's the fundamental action of looking for the causes of your problems and the solutions to them outside of your own mind. It's the belief that your peace depends on changing the world out there. The text just hammers this point home with a series of powerful warnings. It says that if you go looking for enlightenment outside yourself, you're not going to find it. You're going to find a fake, a demon Buddha, an illusion that you yourself created. And the warning gets even deeper. If you define your enemies, your problems, as being out there, you're only making them stronger. The text is so clear, when you fixate on external demons, you're just helping their whole clan grow and thrive. And here it is, the final knockout punch. If you seek the truth, the path itself, as something separate from your own mind, you don't find peace, you invite chaos. The very act of looking out there is what creates the hordes of demons. The message is it's unmistakable. The mind that draws a line in the sand between me and my problem, or good guys and bad guys, that way of thinking is the very engine creating the conflict it's trying to solve. The separation is the struggle. Okay, so if fighting an external enemy is the trap, then what's the solution? What's the way out? Well, the path forward is all about a huge shift in perception. It's about moving beyond what the text calls the dualistic mind. You see, the mind demon at its absolute core is the dualistic mind. It's our default setting, our habit of chopping up reality into opposing pairs, me versus you, right versus wrong, success versus failure. This habit, this is the very root of all our conflict. And this chart just lays out the two paths so clearly. On one side, you've got the dualistic mind. It lives in a constant state of struggle and conflict. It creates separation, it others people, and it always feels this need to conquer something. But the non-dual mind, that's totally different. It operates from a place of unity and acceptance. It seeks to integrate and understand because it sees that everything comes from the same source. And this leads to what is probably the most profound line in the entire text. The goal isn't for the good side to crush the evil side. The goal is to transcend the mind that created that battle in the first place. When you let go of that core conflict, suddenly everything, absolutely everything, becomes the path. So this is all amazing, right? But how do we actually apply this in our crazy modern lives? Let's boil everything we've talked about down into a few core actionable points you can actually use. So here are the key takeaways. Number one, the primary battle is always internal. Always. Which means you have to stop defining your problems and your solutions as external. The real root of the conflict is that dualistic us versus them thinking. So the path isn't about fighting demons, it's about integrating and making peace with the mind that creates them. Because at the end of the day, when your mind demon is at peace, all those so-called external demons, they just lose all their power. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. Forget about solving all your problems for all time. Let's just make it practical. Just for today, where can you apply this? In which one thought, which one judgment, which one little conflict, big or small, can you just practice letting go of the opposition? Just ease up on the internal fight and see what happens.